Do you remember that? That if it's a 1 on the outside, it came from a factor that said x minus 1. Do you remember that or no? I need you to remember that. We worked on that when we did synthetic division. Okay? So that means that what does my factor look like when the 5 is on the outside of the synthetic division? X minus 4, x plus 1, and x minus 5 are my factors of this problem. For the same reason that this one up here was not one of my factors down here. It's because x equals 5, and if I need to get it into a factor looking thing like this, I would have to subtract 5 from both sides to get x minus 5 equals 0. Yes, sir? If I would have done positive 4, watch. 1, negative 8, 11, and 20. 1, 4, negative 16, negative 5, negative 20, 0. Yes. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Okay? So, now it becomes semantics. It becomes what words are you asked? Well, if it says, if your directions are factor, we're done. Those are the factors of this original problem. But how is this problem written? Equals 0. So what do you think my instructions are? Solve. Solve for x. Okay? If these are my factors, I'm really almost there to solve for x. Because it says up there it equals 0, right? Guys, what's true if I multiply two things together and I get an answer of 0? What has to be true about one of those two things? At least one of them has to be 0. They can both be 0, right? But at least one of them has to be 0. So what happens when you're multiplying 3 things together and you get 0? At least one of them has to be 0. Which one is it? I don't know either. So we assume they all are. Okay? We decide they all are. So I'm going to set this one equal to 0. I'm going to set this one equal to 0. And I'm going to set this one equal to 0. And I'm going to solve every single one of them. If I add 4 to both sides, I get x equals 4. If I subtract 1 from both sides, I get x equals negative 1. If I add 5 to both sides, I get x equals 5. Those are my solutions. What I found up here? Yes? That's one of my solutions, absolutely. If it says solve. Now, if it says factor, stop here. Stop right there. Okay? But if it says solve, and if it says factor, it's not going to be equal 0 most likely. It's just going to be that. Okay? So, we talked about a second ago the fact that sometimes these can only have one solution or 2 solutions or 3 solutions if the highest exponent is a 3, right? So let me make something clear to you about your homework for tonight. All of your homeworks are x to the third. So you all of them have a maximum number of solutions of 3, right? Next week, we'll talk about problems that have an exponent of 3, but only have 1 or 2 solutions. That's not today. So tonight on your homework, all of your answers will end up with 3 solutions. Fair enough? I'm not trying to confuse you here. I'm trying to help you out by saying you're going to get 3 answers on all your homework problems tonight. Okay? Does that help? Should we do another one? Okay. X cubed plus x squared minus 17x plus 15 equals 0. I'm going to think in my head real quick if I could solve this by grouping. Because if I can solve it by grouping, I need to do that and not do it the other way, right? Because it's much faster. If this was x squared. Oh, we have to talk real fast about this. On your quiz, when you factored an x squared out of each of these terms, A lot of you said that this was x plus 0. And I think I figured out the source of that because some of you are still saying, oh, it cancels. Okay? Maybe you said that in earlier math classes. Not being judgmental, just making a statement. Maybe you said that in earlier math classes, but you know in here we like to be better with our math vocabulary. Fair enough? So I don't want us to say cancels anymore, because cancels has a lot of different meanings, doesn't it? Okay? So if I divide this by x squared, what am I left with? An x. If I divide this by x squared, what am I left with? Because it simplifies to 1. Anything divided by itself is 1. Guys, anything subtracting itself is 0. I agree with you there. But if we're factoring out an x squared, we're dividing each term by x squared. And x squared divided by x squared is 1. Does that make sense? Okay. So, if I divide that, though, I would get x plus 1. Is there anything I can divide over here to get x plus 1? No. So I can't factor it by grouping, can I? Okay, so what do I do first? Remember? Right, rational root theorem. So what are the factors of 15? 1, 3, 5, and 15. What are the factors of 1? Oh, excellent. So that gives me 1, 3, 5, and 15. How many options do I have to try this time? Only 8. I know it only looks like 4, but remember we have the positive and the negative of each one, right? Where do you want to start? With 1. Okay. 1, negative 17, and 15. And that will be my remainder. Excuse me. 1, 2, 2, negative 15. Oh my goodness. So lucky. We are so lucky. Will it always work on the first one? No, but it did this time, right? So that's good. Do I need to keep doing synthetic division? Can you keep doing synthetic division? You can to find the other two, right? Or we could think of this as a trinomial, right? Here's my constant, here's my x term, here's my x squared term. X squared plus 2x minus 15. Leading coefficient's 1. That means I can do the shorter way, right? What multiplies to be negative 15 and adds to be positive 2? Five and negative 3, right? So what are my factors? Well, x plus 5, x minus 3, and try one more time. X minus 1. Okay? So if these are my factors, how do I find my solutions? Set all of them equal to 0. Where did I get what? Because positive 5 and negative 3 multiply to be negative 5, and positive 5 and negative 3 add to be positive 2. That's the whole A, C, and B thing that we do. Okay? So x equals negative 5, x equals 3, x equals 1. Those are my solutions. All right, we got to do one more. We have time, so it's okay. One more. Now you see why we got to do one more? Oh, you don't want me to do this one? You want me to just let him show up on your homework? Oh, okay, we should do it. Okay. So what do we do first? Yeah, see if we can do it by grouping, because that'll give us a shortcut. Guess what? We can't. Okay? So then what? No. This one first. You're fine. If you wouldn't drink so much espresso in the morning. You accidentally drank espresso. It's all right. Now, this is different, isn't it? Because I have everything in the numerator divided by the 1. So I still get 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24, right? But then I also have everything in the numerator divided by 2. 1/2. 2 divided by 2. Well, I already have that one, so I don't want to write it again. 3 divided by 2. 4 divided by 2. I got it. 6 divided by 2. Okay, I got that. 8 divided by 2. Okay, I got that. 12 divided by 2. Got it. 24 divided by 2. 12. Okay, got that. So I do have some fractions this time, don't I? You guys want to start with the fractions, don't you? Yeah. No, I knew you didn't. It's okay. Now, how many possibilities do we have to choose from? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 20, right? Guys, 20 is still better than an infinite amount. Do you see that? Where should we start? Positive 4, okay. 2, negative 3, negative 50, negative 24. 2, 8, 5, 20, 30. I'm going to stop. Are you okay with that? Okay. Oh, this is negative 30. Sorry, let me fix that. Where should I go now? Negative 3. 2, negative 3, negative 50, negative 24. 2, negative 6, negative 9, 27, negative 23. I'm going to stop. Where now? 3? Positive 3? Two, 6, 3, 9, negative 41. 6, 2, negative 3, negative 50, negative 24. 2, 12, 9, 54, 4, 24. So isn't that one of my solutions now? Go here, right? You can keep doing synthetic division if you want. You can do it all 20 times. Or we can go here. Make this into a polynomial. 2x squared plus 9x plus 4. AC is 8. B is, what multiplies to be 8 and adds to be 9? 1 and 8. 2x squared plus 1x plus 8x plus 4. Can I factor this one by grouping? Take out an x, 2x plus 1. Take out a 4, 2x plus 1. What are my two factors? Tell me. Nobody else tell me. You tell me. Yeah, we tried 4 up here, and it didn't work because that's a negative 4, right? Okay. So here's my 3 factors. Let me write this out. 2x plus 1, x plus 4, and what's my last factor? X minus 6. If I set each of those equal to 0 to find my solutions, 2x plus 1 equals 0, x plus 4 equals 0, x minus 6 equals 0. X equals negative 1/2. Yep. X equals negative 4. X equals 6. Why isn't this one just negative 1? Because it has that 2, right? I have to divide by 2 right there. So that's why I got negative 1/2 instead of just negative 1. These are my 3 solutions. Now, I need to be clear about one thing. If these are my solutions, what does that mean? That means if I go back up here to the problem and plug any one of those three in,